Okay, back to the top of the round. Next round, reinforcement phase. Well, fortunately, our reinforcement track is 0, so we don't draw any new enemies. That's good. Travel phase. Well, I could only travel if I want to retreat, which that would cost me more time and some damage. So I don't want to do that. And pursuit phase, well, there's no more enemies in the quest area. It is now the hero phase, and I don't have a whole lot I can do. I've got my longbow, which I'm going to place from my hand as a fast action into my hero area, but that causes my focus to go up by 1. So I move it here, which that passes the reinforcement symbol, which means I move the reinforcement track up by 1. Now that would be something to worry about if I didn't know that crushing assault was going to end this turn. Okay, but fortunately we're not going to have to worry about that reinforcement. What we do have to worry about is these two guys attacking, and I have nothing in my hand to defend against them. Now I could attack to deal damage, but with no hand, I have no ability to do any damage at the moment. I mean, I can do 1 or 2. 2 would let 1 wound to get through, but that wouldn't be enough to deal to kill either of these guys, and I know that the encounter is going to end this turn. What I am going to do is I'm going to use Vigilant in as once per round as a fast action, move one of these ranged cards from my discard pile to the top of my deck, and I am going to move aimed shot, so I should get 2 of those this turn. Alright, so let me put it's hard to do one-handed. Put that back up there. Alright, and so that's the end of my hero turn, so I'm going to draw back up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we look at my hand here, let's see, I got Hasty Shot, ooh, that's good. Replenishment, Hooded Cloak, Aimed Shot, I forgot that Hooded Cloak was coming back, and Aimed Shot. Not a bad hand. Now it is the defense phase. These two guys are going to attack. What I'm going to do as a reflex here is I'm going to draw 1 card and hope that I get something that's going to allow me to dodge. So hopefully like an acrobatic dodge. Unfortunately not. So I got a Hasty Shot. Okay. So that means I'm going to have to take this damage. So he's dealing 2, he's dealing 1. That damage is coming through, which means I've got to take some cards from my discard, 3, and put them into my burial pile. So not that one, not that one. We'll do this other. This card may not be buried as a result of damage. Never mind, I can't rebury those replenishes. So that means, well, I only have 3 cards in here that I can bury, which are not ones that I wanted to bury. There's my acrobatic dodge, my arcane shot, and my acrobatic dodge. So those are going to be buried. Okay, so I take that damage. Now we go to the encounter phase, and remember, at the beginning of encounter, we put another progress token on here. And so this says if the encounter conditions are met, which they are, there are 2 progress tokens on here, we then consider this resolved. So we're going to discard. We can look over here. This actually has a handy handy little chart here that shows disperse enemies. So we disperse all these enemies, and dispersing the enemies just means we discard them unless they had a special ability like the Direwolf that wouldn't allow that to happen. Then we improve the active location. Well, this one only had 1 wound, so we improve it. So now it's a safe area. It's not perilous anymore, it's safe, which means we're going to be able to rest here. Next thing we do is draw 2 rewards. Okay, so 1, 2. Let's look at what I got. Ooh, a healing bonus potion and an arcane weave quiver. Those are both really good. I am going to keep them both and put them in my hand. If I didn't want them, I could trade them in for what their resolve worth is. But yeah, I'm gonna keep those. Those are both good. Okay, and rest. So that means I can rest. Resting simply means you use the restoration value of the location you're resting at, plus the restoration on your hero, and so that's 2 for us, and I can either move 2 cards from my discard pile to the bottom of my deck, or 2 cards from my burial pile to my discard pile, or, you know, I can do 1 from my burial to here and then 1 from here to here. But what I am going to do is I'm going to move these 2 cards over to my discard pile because I don't like them being buried. And then finally we can refill their cards, which my hand is already full, so I don't have anything else I need to draw. Okay, so the encounter phase is over, and now we draw a time card. 1. Okay, and enrage all enemies in each hero area if available. Oh, my hero area is empty. Thank goodness. And we move the time track up by 1. Ooh, look at that. It's passing the raging symbol. That means I would enrage all of the monsters if I had any, but there are no enemies, so nobody is enraged. And that is the end of turn 2. So now at the beginning of turn 3, we are going to skip the reinforcements phase and go straight to the travel phase. So let's reveal this. Hunting grounds. When this location is active, remove 1 wound from each beast in every hero area at the start of each defense phase, but it does have a restoration, resting of +2, so that's good. So that means you definitely want to kill off everything before you end the hero turn. So I'm going to put a wound on it to represent perilous, and we've moved here to the hunting grounds, and now we have to draw an encounter and hope it's not bad. Bloodthirsty Pack. So this is the first beast that enters the hero area on any pursuit phase becomes enraged. Oh, that's not good. 1 progression for every enemy that leaves play, and we need to have at least 2. Since there's only 1 hero, we need 2 or no enemies in play, and the retreat penalty is just 1. But oh, only the first beast, not every beast. Okay, so the number of creatures is 2 + 1, so 3. So again, we're going to draw 3. Now this one says not just any green, but they have to be beasts, okay? So I have to look at them. So the first one is a ice hound, so it's a beast. So it's going to go over there. There's 1. Next one, he is a beast man, so he goes into the discard pile. Next, oh, the Ice Reaver is a beast, unfortunately, so he goes here. And finally, Direwolf. Dadgum, another one of these guys. A beast, so he goes over here. There's our 3. And oh yes, one last thing I did forget was my focus reset. At the aftermath, which this player aid also shows the encounter aftermath. So reset focus and discard active encounter. Alright. So now it's time for the pursuit phase. So I have 3 focus, and the Ice Hound is going to move first. And so I still have 1 focus left, so the Ice Reaver... Oh wait, I do have to remember, for the first beast that enters the hero area enrages, so he's going to enrage, which that means he attacks. So he deals 1 damage to me, which I have to take. So I'm going to discard this. Alright. And then he goes back to normal. That's what that represents. So enrage, he attacks, and then goes back to normal. And then secondly, the Ice Reaver is going to come in here, and that takes my focus down to 0. So the Dire Wolf is left over there, and I've got these 2 to deal with. Okay, so hero phase. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to place this healing potion into my hero area as a fast action. Then this arcane quiver, I didn't really look at it after we got it, but it allows some really nice fast actions. Notice though that I can only have 1 in E1 area in my hero area. That's what that represents. Look, this quiver is also in E1 in my hero area, so I can only have 1 at a time. I believe that I can just discard this one, or actually I can, as a fast action, move all these over. So I'm going to move this one over to my bow, this one over to my bow, and this one over to my bow. And then when there are no more tokens on this card, bury it immediately. So it's going to be buried up there. And then I can put my, as a fast action, my Arcweave bow in, and I put 2 more progression tokens on this one. Okay. So that's what that looks like. So now I've put those into play. I am additionally going to put my Hooded Cloak as a fast action into play to give me some defense. Alright, so I think I want to take out the Ice Reaver if I can. And I believe I have a way to do that now that I have my Arcweave quiver and my bow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do Aimed Shot, which is a regular action that you resolve any one action on a ranged card. And if it deals physical damage, add 2 physical damage to that. Well, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do, with my longbow, I'm going to do this regular action, deal 2. And what that's going to do, so that's 2 physical plus 2 physical. Then, as a separate fast action, I'm going to use the ability on my Arcweave bow that says if you resolve an action of a bow that deals any physical, you may discard 1 progression token from this card. If you do, all that physical becomes magic and add +1. So that would be 5 magic. And while this guy has a very strong melee, or a very strong physical defense, he does not have a good magic defense. So 5 damage, so 1 would be taken away from the armor, and then that would make 4 go through to him, and that would kill him in 1 shot, as opposed to if I was doing 5 physical, you would only put 2 wounds on him. So that's what I'm going to do. So this one causes my focus to go up by 1. So there's 1. My bow causes my focus to go up by 2. 1, 2. And this card causes it to go up by 1 more. My quiver causes it to go up by 1 more. And so now I'm going to discard this card. I'm going to discard my bow, because that's what it says at the bottom here. Discard my bow. And then I'm going to have to discard 1 progression token off of my quiver. And that's going to kill this Ice Reaver, which gives me 2 resolve, and it puts one progression token, because that creature left play, on this encounter. So that's a good turn. Now I do have some other things. I have this hasty shot I could take, but it states if you have a bow in your hero area, you can use it. Well, I no longer do, so yeah, I can't do that. But what I am going to do, as a once per round, I'm going to use this fast action to move my longbow to the top of my deck so that I can make sure I draw it next turn. Okay. Now this Ice Hound is going to hit me. Oh, wait. Well, I mean, now I go to the defense phase. And the only one here is the Ice Hound, so he's going to hit me for 1. And I'm going to, again, discard my cloak. Wait, this says it can go on top of your deck if you want it to. Which I think I do. I want it to go on top of my deck. And that causes my focus again to go up by 1. And that blocks the 1 damage that this guy would do to me. Okay. And then at the... I'm sorry, I did that wrong again. So before I go to the defense phase, the last part of the hero phase is drawing back up your hand. I have 3 in my hand, so I need to draw 2 more. Ooh, I got a dagger too. Oh, that's good. Okay. Now I would do that and put it back on top, because I wouldn't want to do that and then draw here at the end and get that hooded cloak back out, because that's not how it works. So now that the defense phase is over, it would be the encounter phase. It is not yet resolved, so we go straight to the time phase and hope for a good time card. Okay, progress time by 1, so let's do that. Moves up there. And then this says each player immediately discards a divine card. Well, guess what? We don't have any divine cards, so that goes straight to my discard pile. And that is the end of turn 3. Join me next time as we try to take on a couple more rounds. And this is Crazy Bear signing out. See you later.